Hey guys, welcome to another vlog. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about upper limiting and the terror barrier. So the concept of upper limiting is something that Gay Hendricks coined, and it's all about what happens when we reach our upper limit for what we are comfortable with in terms of feeling successful, feeling happy, feeling loved, feeling financially stable and secure. It's the upper limit of our comfort zone based on what it is that we're used to. So when we start to go for more in our life or our work or our relationships, anywhere that we are working to go for more, especially when we're working to do something that feels big and exciting and impossible, we often run into our upper limit. And when we hit our upper limit, all kinds of things begin to happen. So either we start telling ourselves stories, so we're waiting for the other shoe to drop if things are going well, we have a lot of fear or anxiety come up, or things begin to happen in our lives. We don't necessarily cause them to happen. Sometimes we do, like things might be going really well for you in a relationship, but if your upper limit says that you are only used to and comfortable with chaotic or bad or toxic relationships, you might pick a fight with your partner, and that's a subconscious thing that happens, but it's still something that you cause to happen. Whereas other times, normal life things happen, but our subconscious will fixate on that thing and use it as an opportunity to get us to stop or slow down so that we don't keep going for what it is that we want. For me recently, with the Unravel book coming out, the second Awesome Life Tips book coming out, making this big push towards moving my company forward towards the vision of the media company that I see for myself, working to be more visible, going through things in certain relationships. Like, I have been bumping up against my upper limit as I go for more in all of these different ways. So my 5-year-old computer, right in the middle of all of this, a lot of client work, a lot of book writing, a lot of things that I was working on for my training calls, decided to stop working. And that meant that I needed to get a new computer. Now for me, a new computer is a big multi-$1,000 expense because I need to do video editing, I do a lot of design, I need the biggest, baddest machine that I can get so that it will last me from anywhere from 3 to 5 years. So I went and I invested in a big, bad machine and had all kinds of tech issues come up. So a lot of things weren't working on it like they should be. The fans turned on and just wouldn't stop running at full speed. I had software issues. It was a nightmare over the course of a couple weeks. But I knew, because I've been at this for as long as I have been, that I was hitting an upper limit. Now, me going for more and hitting an upper limit is not what caused my computer to die. It was its time. But my fixation on it, the way that I saw it, was from a place of stress and scarcity and upset and frustration. And one of my first thoughts when my laptop stopped working was, well, I can't finish my book. That was my first thought. I can't do my training call. I can't do this group intensive that I'm launching. I can't do all of these things that I'm trying to do. I need to delay everything. I need to stop. I need to borrow a computer that will be slow and awkward and clunky because it's not mine. And I went into my own way of stopping, my own way of slowing down, rather than pushing for more. Thankfully, because I am so familiar with this work and I am very aware of the ways that I stop myself, I moved through that pretty quickly and I said, nope, I'm going to keep going forward. I also almost didn't go on a trip that I had planned on going for almost a year. It was to an event in Tennessee with a lot of other creatives. It was all about storytelling and using story as a tool to change the world and change our lives. But in addition to telling myself that I couldn't write my book anymore and do all these things that I was in the middle of doing, I told myself I couldn't afford to go to the event, which wasn't true. I made it happen. I got a pet sitter lined up. I got out there. I paid for Uber every day. I made it happen because I knew that if I let this computer thing stop me, that I would be playing into my own way of self-sabotage, my own way of stopping myself, which is to spiral into stress and frustration and to just stop everything because it's too much and it's too overwhelming, and to believe that I don't have enough money to do the things that I want to do. So I went and I immediately purchased a brand new computer. I made it work to go to the event, even though I also was getting sick, which was another form of upper limiting for me. And I kept pushing forward. And this new computer that I got, like I said, had so many problems that I actually had to go back to Boulder, which is where I need to go to the Apple stores, 3.5 hours from where I live. I went back, I worked with their Genius Bar. When they couldn't fix it, I asked for another computer, and I got myself another computer, and I set everything back up, and I kept moving. The reason that I bring all of this up is, again, when we're going for more, and whatever that looks like, especially if it feels impossible, even if it's big and exciting, but it is beyond our current capacity for whatever it is that we are used to in that area of our life, we're going to hit our upper limits. And it's so important that you understand how you stop yourself, the ways that it shows up, the stories that your subconscious mind will choose to reinforce anytime something goes wrong. And what's common for you? Do you get sick? Do you pick fights? Do you get moody and cause problems in your relationships? Do you suddenly go into, I don't have enough time and money? Do you panic? Do you get overwhelmed? Do you feel frustrated? Do you get angry? Do you get sad and depressed? For a long time, I had health problems come up whenever I would upper limit. I would physically hurt myself somehow. And a lot of times that just looked like tripping and falling, tripping over nothing in my own hallway and falling and twisting an ankle or breaking a toe or something. So you have to know your ways of stopping yourself, your ways that upper limiting shows up so that you can keep moving forward. And that's the second part of it. You keep moving forward. You don't fall victim to the stories of your own mind. You don't believe the lies. You don't spin out in whatever emotion you choose to spin out in. You don't let yourself stop. You find a way to make it work. Sometimes that involves rest. I definitely had to rest. I was still physically sick, but I kept moving everything forward. I showed up to my second training call. I could barely breathe because my lungs were so congested, and I sounded a little bit stuffy and like I had just rolled out of bed from a nap, but I showed up anyways and I got it done and I kept moving things forward. So keep in mind that this is something that's really common. It happens to all of us. And if you're not clear on the ways that you stop yourself and the ways that your subconscious programming, your subconscious mind kicks in to keep you safe, which is the same as keeping you stuck and stalled out. It wants you to stay exactly where you are because that's known and familiar and safe. You have to know the ways that you do that so that you can learn how to continually move forward. Now, these upper limiting responses happen when we go through the terror barrier. And this is something that I learned from a client and mentor of mine, which is when we're going through life, there's all these normal peaks and valleys. So we have a normal level of consistent highs and lows that we go through. But when we choose to go for something more, something scary, something new, something different, something that feels impossible, we hit the terror barrier. And that takes those waves and it makes them chaotic and overwhelming and terrifying. And it's all of this stuff, all of your stuff comes up and it seems like everything's falling apart, everything's going wrong, everything is too hard. And what we often do is we stop and we go back. So we think we can't do this, it's too hard, I'm not cut out for it, whatever story you tell yourself, we turn around and we go back. When really, that's just what happens as you readjust to a new way of being and a new standard for yourself. So you're resetting what your upper and your lower limits are by going for more. But in order to do that, you have to move through that terror barrier, that chaotic period. Keep going, keep working, keep rewiring all of your beliefs and stories until you learn a new way of being. And when you get to the other side, you could never imagine going backwards. But it takes a lot to get to that other side. But again, that's just what it feels like to go through change. It's just what it feels like to grow. It's a normal part of the process. It doesn't mean that we stop. Whatever it is that you are working to create in your life, I would love to have you join me for my Journey Mapping Group Intensive. It's on Saturday, October 12th. You can go to callofthevoid.tv/group to learn more about that. It's never going to be this inexpensive again, and plus I'm going to throw in my Journey Mapping do-it-yourself 12-week program as well to help you go deeper into the work. But whatever it is that you're looking to create in your life, Journey Mapping gives you a sense of where you are on that journey, where you are on your particular path, and it gives you the tools and resources for things exactly like what I'm talking about. As you hit the terror barrier, as you begin to upper limit, really knowing yourself and the ways that you respond and the ways of being that you're working to leave behind, as well as the ones that you're working to step into, gives you so much power to keep yourself in momentum, to keep yourself moving forward no matter what happens. And that's just one way that we use journey mapping. So check it out, callthevoid.tv/group. I would love to have you. We have 3 spots remaining as of right now, and I will be back soon with another video.